From up here, Israel looks small and beautiful, just like on the maps, said Ilan Ramon as he looked down from the shuttle, far above the earth. If Israel looks small from space, Maktesh Ramon is no more than a tiny dot. Yet down on the ground, under the vast heavens, naturalists find a surprising world of wildlife in this patch of sand and rock. As dawn breaks, Maktesh Ramon seems an empty and deserted place. A bowl of lifeless desert. Did we say lifeless? We won't be able to see most of the animals here. Even those that are awake during the day spend much of their time hiding from the sun, or from us. But if we know what to look for, we can see the signs they leave behind. The quills at the entrance to this lair tell us that this is the home of a family of porcupines. Every night they emerge to dig for the bulbs of wild plants. Here is the entrance of the home of a fat sand rat. He digs his burrow between the roots of the saltbush, whose leaves are his favorite food. Other animals leave more fragrant evidence for us to examine. These droppings were left by the Asiatic wild ass. The Asiatic wild ass became extinct in Israel, but the Israel Nature and Parks Authority has successfully reintroduced them to Maktesh Ramon. This pile of droppings tells us that we have entered the territory of the Dorcas gazelle. The gazelles make sure to leave fresh droppings wherever they go, and we can also see where they have been by their telltale heart-shaped tracks. Nooks and crannies make an ideal home for the rock hyrax. The leader of the pack claims the area with a loud song, and its followers can then enjoy a meal among the acacia branches in relative safety. Food remains are also a good way to investigate the wildlife in the Maktesh. The dinner table of the Spiny Mouse, for example, is full of empty shell. Their juicy insides were long since devoured by the hungry rodent. The spiny mice run 2 shifts a day. The golden spiny mouse is active during the day, when it must be careful not to fall prey to diurnal predators. The Egyptian spiny mouse takes over for the night shift, which brings its own challenges and dangers. At night, Maktesh Ramon belongs to the animals. We cannot visit the Maktesh once darkness falls. Even nature researchers must receive a special permit to explore the area at night. It is not easy to discover the nighttime predators in the Maktesh. Often, the researchers must identify them by their eyes when they are caught for an instant by their flashlights. The caracal, with its black ear tassels, poses a real threat for any reckless rodent. The striped hyena, a solitary animal, usually makes do with carcasses. The red fox has sensitive ears that detect the slightest movement. And last, but by no means least, the leopard. One of the few remaining examples of the species that still visit the area from time to time. All the animals of the night, hunters and hunted alike, are alert now. The flashlight reveals a herd of Dorcas gazelles in the middle of their midnight feast. And a herd of Arabian oryx ruminate peacefully. The youngsters are protected in a shallow hollow. Using an ultraviolet flashlight, the researchers discover scorpions. Snakes are also active under the cover of darkness. Nature researchers prepare a survey to map the animal life in the area. They trap specimens and measure them before releasing them so they continue with their normal activities. In the first light of dawn, a pack of wolves that found a carcass during the night continues its meal into the new day. Dawn is a magical time in the desert as the animals of the night and the day meet briefly. Soon, though, the creatures of the night will go off to sleep, leaving the desert to animals who can withstand the intense heat and dazzling sunlight. A desert hedgehog scuttles into its daytime hiding place, just as the Egyptian mastigirs emerge from their nocturnal lair, basking in the morning sun to gain strength for the day ahead. We can look for wildlife between the desert plants, too. For insects, the plants are an exclusive restaurant offering countless tastes. For the falcon, meanwhile, the insects themselves are the main item on the menu. The shrike skews insects on the sharp twigs of the plants as a territorial mark as well as a snack offering whenever it feels hungry. Another sure way to find life in the desert is to wait patiently by a water source. All animals need fluids, and sooner or later, most of them will come down to the puddles at Ein Sacharonim to drink and bathe. A dead animal creates a drama in the Maktesh as scavengers move in for the feast. Throughout Israel, the Griffin Vulture is in danger of extinction. We can only hope that the Israel Nature and Parks Authority will succeed in its rehabilitation program, helping the griffin to flourish again here in the Maktesh. Spring is perhaps the finest season here, with new life all around. But whether you come to the Mactesh in winter, spring, summer, or fall, you will have a chance to encounter the wildlife that visit or live in this area. As you walk through the Mactesh, the chances are that you see evidence of the wildlife that usually remains hidden. Now, we hope that you will be able to tell which sign belongs to which animal. Remember, Mactesh Ramon belongs to the wildlife that lives here at least as much as it does to us, if not more. Look after the desert and its wildlife, for the sake of us all.